life after college. And I kind of take credit for that because I brought them out the street and gave them a program. The program used to last all summer, but due to the funding, we can only have the program for 4 weeks. To the new people, the program is open to all children in Glasgow. If we get over 40 children, we don't have to charge because the little money that we receive do not sponsor all the activities that we like to present to the children. And it is cut to 4 weeks now instead of 6 weeks. And if you all would be so kind to put us in your budget for another year, and we'll thank you for that. Now I'm going to something else that might kick up a little stink, but however, I don't want it to. We, as concerned citizens, that's all of Glasgow. That's not only north end of Glasgow. But right now, that's all that's doing this. For the community center, we're getting more use out of the community center. It's more people want to use the building. And we have insurance to pay and excuse me, I have a cold. We have insurance to pay. We have electric bills to pay. And we can't meet those every month sometimes. We have to go in their place and put different people to help us to support our electric bill and our insurance bill. The insurance bill runs us about $349 a month. We have to have insurance in case someone gets hurt. And the electric bill varies. We have had 14 students from Holy Cross that volunteered to work here. We've been sponsoring that program about 5 years. The children come from Mass, and they work in the community doing for the handicapped and the senior citizens. We had about 6 adult senior citizens and handicapped to ask for help, cleaning their houses and doing work around their yards and things, but due to the snow, they couldn't do any yard work. And this is a program opened up for the whole town of Glasgow. We didn't get any support from the town with our students. We have to feed them, we have to house them. So they stayed in the center, slept on the floor. They don't want a hotel, they don't want somebody's fine house. They love the roughing it, and they slept on the floor. We had a very good time. We had a community dinner. I think it was advertised, and letters were sent out to all the churches, and we just had 2 churches to participate from the south end, which is the Episcopal Church and the Cowboy Church. They participated in the community church. It would be nice sometime when we have things that we would see somebody from the council to attend to these programs. It would have been just nice that you would just show up and say, what can I do? Welcome the young folks into the town. And that didn't happen. Usually Monica, when she was on council, would welcome on behalf of the mayor and the town. But she's not on council now. And Mike was sick. So, but it shouldn't be their duty. It should be any one of you all on the board. Not criticizing you because it might be a lack of communication. Not making excuses because I know all of you knew about it. So I'm asking that if the community center can be one of you all's items on your budget for each year when you're making your budget, can you consider putting the community center as line item. And it would be appreciated. Oh, by the way, we now have gymnastics in the building. I need to tell you what's going on in the building. We have gymnastics going on. We have the GED classes that's going on. All of this is going on every month. And then we have the 4-year-old daycare run by Rockbridge County School. It used to be school on the bus, but now they'll have in the community center. We've had people come have birthday parties for the children. We've had weddings. We've had anniversary parties. And so far, the community use it that way. But we want everybody to be a part of it. We have our 501c. We're struggling, but we're trying to get grants. We have been granted by one organization, which was very good of them, due to one of the Pittsburgh members, Van Austin, mother-in-law of the Reed Foundation, gave us a sum, a small sum. So we just asking, you know, do as you please, but remember we vote too, okay?
Do you have a particular amount that you're requesting, or is this
For the council?
for the community center? I'm getting the impression you're asking for two different
Yeah, two
things.
Yeah.
One for the summer enrichment,
and one for
the community
Mhm.
center.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a figure that you're requesting for the community center?
Well, I didn't ask you because I was going, if you ask, you might not get what you asked for. But
You sound like a very godly woman, and
Yes,
I'm sure
I am.
you know that the scripture says if you don't ask,
you don't receive.
you don't receive. That doesn't mean you're going to get it because you ask, but if you don't ask, you're definitely not going to get it.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth.
I hope
I
so.
brought that up tonight. I wasn't intending to,
Okay.
but when I heard the fire department ask for $12,000, I said, why can't I ask for $3? But I wasn't gonna say it. You know, I'm the president. I've been president ever since we got organized in 1981. So y'all know that. I've been here a long time. But anyway, I just,
So I would be correct in putting down that
30,000.
you're requesting $3,000
Yes.
for the community center?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And so you did say your 501c status is actually
Yeah.
finally done? It took
Yes.
2 or 3 years to get there, but it's
Yeah,
actually finally
it's
done.
finally done and we received it.
501c3 nonprofit?
Yes. So thank you all. I didn't mean to take up so much time, but however, things got to be said.
You should make the community center available to the council, let them meet up there, and then more people can get in there and be more room.
I'm sure you are aware of that, Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, you're aware that you can use the center at any time for meetings, right? Okay. I think that's already known that you're.
Thank you very much. Glasgow Food Pantry, Mrs. Shalley.
I'm not Mrs. Charlie.
Ms. Patrick. Thank you, Doris.
Okay. I would like to just give you some facts and figures about the food pantry. What I'm handing out is a pie chart with our spending for 2013. As you can see, the red part on there is what we spent on food. We did have to buy a commercial freezer this past year, and that's our equipment, the yellow block. But everything else is pretty well self-explanatory. In 2013, we prepared 3,735 boxes of food. And that included 7,773 individuals that were fed from our food pantry. We are open every week. We distribute foods on Saturday, except the Saturday after the third Thursday. The third Thursday is our big distribution day, and so we're not open on that Saturday. And the most boxes that we distributed in any one day was 154, and that is November, December distribution when we have turkeys that we give away. And according to the addresses of the households served in February we served 185 families. 41 of that 85 live in Glasgow. So it's almost 50% of our clientele live in Glasgow or have a Glasgow address. We do have 302 households that are signed up to receive food, and of course all of them do not come every month, and some of them will come only once. But they do have to be eligible by bringing their source of income twice a year, or if they're eligible for food stamps, then they're automatically eligible to receive food from the food pantry. Our costs have dramatically increased this year. Last January, our food bill from the food bank in Verona was $355. This year it was $984. And in February last year it was $508, and this year it was $1,353. So you can see that things are going up. There's not as much food given to us free, not as much USDA foods to be obtained as there have been in the past. So we're having to buy more of the food. And our request is for $2,000, but we would appreciate anything that you would feel that you could give us. And as you can see from our budget, we are pretty frugal. We take very good care of our finances. Any questions?
I just have one question. The number that you said was the total of the people that were serviced, was that like taking the households and by the number of people in the household?
The number of people in the households, we have a list of every person.
So like a house of 6, all those numbers are added into this 300 and some total that's.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, 3,735 boxes of food. Oh, you're talking about the 305?
Yeah, you said something.
That's the number of households that are signed up to
Right, but then
receive.
the number of people served, there was another number you had there.
Uh,
Yeah,
7,773
so that's from the number of people per household.
That's the number we actually served.
So like a house has 4 people, that's how that number gets.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm. Any other questions?
Thank you, Dr. Lenore Weaver, Senior Center.
Good evening. My name is Jerry Schaaf, and I work for Moore River Senior Center, which is operated by Valley Program for Aging Services. And I really want to thank Council for inviting me to come tonight and tell you a little bit about the Senior Center and the services that we provide to the citizens of Glasgow. In our fiscal year that ended September 30th, we delivered about 2,500 hot home-delivered meals to 23 Glasgow citizens. We know that that number will go up in the current fiscal year because for the last year, we've only been able to deliver hot meals 3 times a week, 3 days a week, because we were lacking volunteers. The Natural Bridge Ruritan has agreed to take, as a group, one extra day. So now we only have frozen meals going out 1 day a week, and the rest of the time it's hot meals that are coming out using volunteers, including a member of the council. And understand that even though that's 2,500 meals and probably close to $12,000, that it's not about the food, not really. It's about people being checked on every day. For many of the folks, this is the only living person they see all day, is the person who brings a meal to their door. It helps keep people in their own homes, which is where they want to be. They want to be independent, they want to be on their own. But when you can't stand very well, or you might have some memory issues and it's not safe for you to use a stove anymore, this is how to keep people at home. All of our services that come out of the Senior Center are available to Glasgow citizens. We provide personal care to Glasgow residents, which is personal hygiene and bathing care to those who are homebound, again, helping to keep them in their homes. We provide Senior Center services to Glasgow residents, and Glasgow is the only area outside the city of Buena Vista for which we offer Senior Center transportation, and we drove about 3,500 miles in the last year to transport Glasgow residents to and from the Senior Center 2 days a week. We also provide a lot of information assistance and referral services and a lot of Medicare insurance counseling services to Glasgow citizens. I do not have a breakdown on exactly how many Glasgow citizens we served, but last year we served over 800 people out of the senior center for Medicare insurance counseling. And the biggest rush period for that is when the prescription drug plans change every year. And in this past year, during the open enrollment, we were able to save citizens of the whole Rockridge community about $122,000 on their medication expenses for 2014. We are, as every nonprofit is, and particularly those who depend on state and federal funding, we are feeling the effects of sequestration. We are feeling the effects of a shrinking economy and a shrunken economy. And we, as serving senior citizens, are feeling the effects also of the fact that in this country 10,000 people turn 65 every day. So whatever you can do to help us offset some of our costs and make sure that we can continue keeping these services in Glasgow would be very much appreciated. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Community watch? Community watch? Sorry. That's okay.
Well, I did not bring a little pie chart or anything. I do apologize. We really just started last summer with the Community Watch Program with the assistance of Sergeant Britton. Last year, we did the National Night Out, the Rockridge County National Night Out. We did that in Glenmore Park. And we also co-sponsored with the fire department for the Natural Bridge Elementary Halloween bags and treats and little safety talks with them. And then we did a Christmas program with the help of Sergeant Britton in the town hall. So we've done several things like that. This year we're planning on helping with the Glasgow Cleanup Day at the end of March. We're also going to help with the Easter egg hunt at Reverend Kilgore's church. We're going to do a softball tournament in May. That's one of our fundraisers. We're going to do a talent show with the schools. That's going to be probably May or June. We're also going to do National Night Out again, but it's going to be here in Glasgow. Let's see, we're going to do a gospel sing in the fall. We're going to do the trunk or treat again, and then the Halloween bags in October, and then the Christmas gifts, we'll do that again, and we're looking at maybe doing a bike giveaway as well in December. So we, like I said, we have 3 fundraisers that we're doing, and we're requesting funding to help us with the other. National Night Out was extremely expensive, as you know. We probably spent, what, about $1,000 just on that one event. We're trying to get sponsors. We're trying to get vendors. We don't want to turn it into a, citizens come out and buy stuff, but if somebody wants to come and, do like the gun locks, giveaways like that, we're looking for sponsors to do things like that to help us offset costs. But if you all could help us, we were requesting $5,000. And I believe it's under, I don't think it's under its own line item, isn't under safety.
It's listed now in the police department, correct?
Does anyone have any questions about the amount or anything that we've done or anything that we're planning on doing?
When's National Night Out?
It's the first Tuesday in August, and it will be at the Carnival Grounds. Last year, we were able to get, the fire department helped us tremendously, and we are getting some help with some of the other fire departments and rescue squads as well, and lifeguard also came and helped us, but we're trying to do a little bit more this year and turn it into a bigger event. Any other questions?
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Okay, Glasgow Life Savings, they've already spoken. Glasgow Volunteer Fire Department, There's no one here for that. So we'll move on to D. Resolution to adopt the Central Shenandoah Valley All Hazard Mitigation Plan 2013 update. Okay, you have a letter from Rebecca Joyce. You need to vote or discuss, you need to discuss it, you need to vote to sign the resolution.
So this was a master plan that the Central Shenandoah County District did that met state and federal requirements.
Correct.
And this,
Originally done in 2005.
right, it was updated. The original plan it had to be updated.
Correct.
They updated the whole entire plan. All they're asking for is all the jurisdictions to have a resolution that supports the plan they've already created.
Correct.
But it's a regional plan for the whole
Yes.
area. Everybody works under that whole regional plan.
5 counties. Correct.
Make a motion that we adopt the resolution for the update.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, purchase, excuse me.
That's a 2014 plan, correct?
Correct.
Okay, purchase of the fluoride equipment with grant reimbursement.
We applied for a fluoride grant, and we did receive it. This is the paperwork that says it's an agreement for us to buy the equipment, and they're basing it on the quote that we gave them. We have to buy and install the 2 fluorinators, and they will reimburse me the exact amount.
So I take it you and Jeff will go through all this term of this lease agreement and everything, and it's okay?
Yes, sir, we sure did. Unless you'd like to run it through the town attorney.
I haven't seen it, but
It's a simple reimbursement agreement.
I'm glad to look at it, but there's probably not much in there, is my guess.
What do we need is a
Call
motion.
this standard agreement they
It
use.
is. There you go. You can have it.
And that was from the Department of Health Division of Child and Family Health.
That's
Mental
correct.
Health Program.
So we have received a grant,
And it pays 100% of this, correct?
100% correct. We have to buy it and they reimburse us. So I need a motion to buy the 2 fluorinators as requested in the grant.
I make a motion
we go through with it.
Second? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone opposed? Next on the agenda is town-owned land along Sally's Mountain Road.
Roger and I talked about this today. There's a logger or a land clearer, Garrett and Sons, who has been hired by Edie and in that meadow to do some logging or land clearing up at Stallings Mountain Road. And he came by to see us and said he noticed on the plat, which is in your package, that we own a strip of land up from the water tank, which is at the bottom corner, up to almost the recycling center. And he said he offered to us if he would come in and select cut that for 50/50. Or we don't have to do anything at all. He's already hired to do these 2 parcels for the meadows. But while he's on site, he offered his services.
I think we ought to put this on hold for a while and kind of look more into it before we make a decision on it. My feelings.
Well, I mean, Paul and I talked the other day, I looked at that and I went up there and looked at the site, and basically, our property line's not very wide there, it's basically just a ravine
Just a ditch,
and up to the other side where all the water from the top of the mountain comes down. You know, there's some debris stuff that's falling over, there's some big pieces that's in there, but it's very steep, it's gonna be hard to get in there to get it out when you do get it. Plus, I didn't really see a lot of select cut in there that's really worth the trouble for him to cut any big logs that's gonna really give anybody a lot of money. And my bigger concern is not really what we're doing with our little parcel, but what he might be doing on parcels 1 and 2. But there again, that's private owned, and I don't know that anybody here as this town or council has any control over what happens on parcels 1 and 2. You know, up on the mountain here where Mr. Slayton had clear cut, well not clear cut, but cut timbers. I know a lot of people were upset with that, and they talked to the forestry department, different ones, and there's really nothing anybody has any control over on his private land up there as far as cutting. They cut 30 acres of clear cut pine up here on the right hand side. And there was nothing you could have done about that either off the Thompson's property. So I mean, it's just, do I think it's a good idea? Probably not, but is there anything we can do other than our little strip? Probably not. But I'm kinda like Sonny, I think we should just kinda pass up on our strip.
Let me ask you something. Does anybody know what impact cutting that forward? We have, the main problem with our flooding issues in town are because of the runoff from the mountains around us. Would that be a concern of the Environmental Protection Agency or anything, that it may cause erosion and worsen the flooding in our town?
I don't know, Tommy, can you explain anything?
I
We've been down
doubt
this
it's
road
a
before.
concern of the Environmental Protection Agency. I think it's probably a legitimate concern for the town. I don't have any doubt about that. Anytime you start cutting, you're gonna, you've got less stuff there to soak up rainwater. You know, my personal thought is just kind of leave it alone. I don't think we're gonna get enough money out of that to do any good for what that's worth, and I'm throwing that out there. If you totally disregard it, feel free to. But I think probably the bigger concern is kind of like Roger said, is what about those 2 other tracks up there? Those are in the county, privately owned. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. I guess I don't know who the owner of those properties.
It's on the plat.
Metter. I don't know if anybody's, and I don't know if the county has talked to them, soil and erosion, that kind of thing.
And I'm not sure that soil and erosion covers the same as it does on residential construction. This comes under farm agriculture, which is under Forest Service.
I don't know what they're using this for, because they're both, it's 82 acres, 83 acres up there.
And it's all pretty steep, except parts of it.
Well, I've got a pretty good idea where it's gonna go. But I don't think we're gonna make enough money out of this to make it work.
Right. Thank you.
So do you need a motion on us not to put one any further? Just let it go?
Just let it go. We won't, he offered, we won't do it.
That's fine.
Okay, Pastor Kilgore has something to say right now.
To add to new business under new business there, letter E, I'd like to request that we move our April town council meeting from the 8th to the 15th due to a couple of absences. And speaking with Mr. Mike Turner, some recovery time for him after his illness this time.
Anybody else going to not be here besides this Mike?
Me and
Town manager.
Also, it's a conflict with 3 of the people that said
Right.
something. Okay.
Does anyone have a problem with that, council?
And there's five Tuesdays, so I think being within the first 8 days, it still allows us time to get things done early.
So our next council meeting will be April the 15th instead of the 8th, the 15th. Tax day.
If we're actually going to move this, we probably should post that as soon as, not just a week or so before, as much time as we can to let people know it's been changed.
We'll post it. Okay.
I have a question about these nonprofits. At least 5 of them look like they're really worthwhile, and I don't understand. The council is going to raise our water bill again for water-related things, $8 a month probably, and you're still looking at giving money to other people and potentially even raising some of them. I guess I don't understand that.
Okay, managers report, purchase of gator.
At the last workshop, I believe Jeff explained about, he had a handout for the gator for the water department. You still have it, I have copies of it. Remember the plan that we talked about, we're gonna borrow $20,000 from the sewer funds, go ahead and purchase the gator. And the sewer department will be paid back half, and the water department will pay back the other half. If you remember that discussion, we were gonna move $20,000 from our sewer MMIA, buy the gator.
You need the gator now or the water project?
Takes about 4 months to order.
When's the water project?
Maybe about a year. Anything to drive it in a year.
So we wanna know if you wanna go ahead and do that. Wait till the next workshop or discuss it some more, but.
Jeff said, did you say exactly when it was gonna go up? He said it would be going up when?
No, he didn't say exactly. So,
He said, the longer we wait, the more it's gonna go up.
right, we have a quote that's good for 60 days, something like that.
45 days.
45 days.
We couldn't hear what the council said.
You didn't hear what Mr. Williams said?
I was asking about Jeff said the price would be going up, he said 45 days.
He said he had to have it within 45 also.
No,
When's
the
he
price-
gotta have the
The
gator?
price of the gator was gonna go up.
When's he gotta have the gator?
I don't know the definite time, he didn't say. He wants it, but he wants to,
And once it starts laying the lines, you have to have a gator.
I think we talked about it at the workshop the last time when we handed out the quote. Jeff gave you a thorough discussion of it.
I don't think it was a set time that you had to have it.
No.
I guess the work project will be started, what, in 30 days?
Hopefully.
it takes what, a week, months?
About 3 to 4 months.
Takes about 4 to 6 weeks.
Is that right? They moved it back?
Yeah.
Because we're not going to get to customize one.
4 to 8, yeah.
4 to 6 weeks, I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Hi. My name is Georgia Clater, and I'm just here to request if I can be put on the agenda for next month about the issues with the cats of Glasgow. And I just want to know if I'd be able to speak for at least 10, 15 minutes.
At the next meeting?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Claire.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's not even wait till you go. You won't get it. You ready?
Mr. Carter, could you elaborate a little bit more on the use of the gator?
It's going to be primarily
Process
to
of the
use in
project.
the alleys, but most of the water project is in the alleys. Taking the ton trucks in the alleys is not appropriate for what we're going to do, so it would be used for water meter reading and for the water department and sewer department too. Primarily, Aaron researched it, what we can use for the highways. We can cross VDOT streets, we just can't go on major thoroughways, is that correct?
You can, with a slow moving sign on the back of a golf cart, gator, you you can use it on any highway that is under 45 miles an hour.
Gotcha.
Anything 45 miles an hour and above, it cannot be road. So basically, as long as you don't go past 13th Street, you're fine.
It was gonna be used for water meter reading with the wands.
Well, actually, that's wrong because the 35-mile-an-hour limit is below 12th Street, below
12th
my
Street,
house.
I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
12th Street.
But, you know, actually, I would like to see the 35-mile-per-hour speed limit extended up the hill because, I mean, those cars are going pretty fast past my house.
That's an argument for VDOT, unfortunately.
I mean, I can't tell you how many dead animals I pick up around my house.
You need to get it too.
So what do you want to do about the gator?
You wanna move the money like Jeff talked about?
Yeah, I make a motion, we go ahead and purchase it.
Okay.
We talk.
Okay, there's a motion to, do you have something to say about it?
Well, I was just gonna ask, is it also because of the light weight of the vehicle? Is it that there is a voiding of a warranty or something if vehicles are going over the maintenance work?
Correct.
So there's a possibility that, you know, a higher, you know, weight
Heavier
vehicle,
weight.
Right.
Yeah,
even if it's
heavier.
It was a weight problem.
So we won't be able to use the alleys anymore?
even if it's our vehicle or the town's vehicle.
Correct.
Going over that, and,
Consistently.
okay.
And I think too, as Jeff explained, and Chris might even be able to, once we get this program finished, and the meters are gonna go there at some point, maybe in the middle, may not necessarily be at the end of the program. Probably, I don't know what percentage it is, are in the alleys, the actual meters are in the
Sure.
alleys. So to drive that truck up and down all these alleys, and some of them are a little harder, and some of them are not as well.
Kinda thin.
But still to actually get down there to read the meters, this thing sits a lot lower to the ground, and just kinda stick it out the door and read them and keep on going. The truck, a lot of them may have to stop the truck, get out, get back in the truck, pull up the next one, stop it, get back. So the time and the efforts of actually doing them with this smaller vehicle that you can kind of maneuver around, that's the savings of going to something smaller to do.
Right.
Plus the gas that it uses up probably over a period of time will be probably 3 or 4 times what that Gator's gonna use.
Well, I understand all that also, but I'm asking about the, you know, just curious about the, if there's any warranty that is voided because
Possibility.
of going
No.
over
It's
that.
good practice not to drive over what you just dug up
Right,
in a heavy truck.
I agree, yeah. But any vehicle, would that begin to affect any vehicles? Because I know a lot of citizens, you know, I don't have an alleyway really behind my house, but, you know, would that affect?
Well, it's gonna create problems in the alleys, but the alleys are still open to public thoroughfares, so it's gonna be hard to tell people not to drive in the alleys. Some people, that's the way they get to their houses, and get to the back of the houses, but, you know, I guess the town doing it every day on a regular, weekly basis, running up and down all the alleys, and the truck's not helping the matter any.
Well, that would be
That
another
ain't
issue.
happened here
so-
lately.
What?
I about got the truck hung up, turned the water meters off Monday.
Careful. All right, that's
What
another
is-
issue, so, on the gator, if there's a motion on the floor, I'll.
Any more discussion? Okay, Sonny made a
I make a
motion.
motion that we
I'll
go ahead
second.
and vote.
You second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
We'll use the proposed plan of the sewer funds, correct?
Yes.
What we talked about.
As we discussed.
Okay, B, proposal for electrical service at Hikers Shelter.
There's a proposal minus, from Dave Brooks. Rogers gave me 2 more electricians, 2 or 3 more. The $600 is money from the Episcopal Church, and they would donate to this project. He's suggesting that we go ahead and get a couple more proposals and make sure this is within the ballpark. So we can, I'll get 2 or 3 more, and we can analyze it in the next meeting.
So table this.
If you like, or go ahead with Dave Brooks.
No, let's table it.
Okay. Table it for the next meeting. Okay, letter from Stormwater Study.
Yes, ma'am. I think last winter, last fall, we met with, they came here, Roger, was it September, October? Chris and Roger, and
I won't say November, would
sometime in the latter part of fall,
Yeah.
early winter.
And they were gonna, Draper Adden is the contractor, along with Central Shenandoah planners, came and looked at all these stormwater problems in Glasgow, took pictures and et cetera, and developed a scope of work for a stormwater study grant. They submitted it, the sequester supposedly pushed all the grants back. They were supposed to award these grants in December of 2013. They did not. Now it's being re-advertised, and this is our letter requesting the same grant that we requested last fall. Up to, I believe, we were talking $40,000 or $50,000 last fall. Doesn't have an amount in here.
I'm thinking that was 100% funded too.
100% grant funded, correct. So this is my letter requesting that grant again to the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation.
And I guess just to kind of get Andrea and Jeremy up a little bit on it, this has been an ongoing issue for years since the floods. There was a study done back in 1980, something, 85, 89, and there was an engineering study done on all this runoff, the creeks, the streams. It's out of date, so if you try to apply for any funding to do any of that stuff, you've got to have a study. So we met here a year or two ago with VDOT and all the players that's involved with it. And the first piece that everybody said would needed to be done was another engineering study that was updated, and it actually expanded a little bit further up Salinsbound, a little bit further down through town, and looked at the whole scope of it. And so that's where Central Shenandoah and them have come together and created this grant to the Department of the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, because they have money, because that all somehow ties into their plans. And so that would help fund this initial study. And once the study's done, then you can start looking for other ways of funding grants and other types of money to do the overall project as a whole.
Implement the recommendations of the study.
And I can't remember what the kind of figures was in that original study, but I mean, it was.
Oh, the corrections?
The original study, how much they said that plan would have cost to fix all this stuff.
$400 and some thousand.
Yeah, it was about a $500,000 project.
To do the corrections.
So this is just grant money?
This is just grant money to do
Yeah, this is trying to find the money to get the initial study.
to do the study, and to, it'll come up with recommendations, and we'll chase after grant funds to do the recommendations.
Grants are better than loans.
And the last item is your expense report.
Do they need
So, I'm saying, you
to
need a
vote on
motion on
this?
No.
It's just information.
It's just information, yes, sir. I assume, since we applied the first time, I reapplied. But that's okay. I figured, since we got approval to apply the first time.
Right.
And the cycle extended out, and they extended the cycle to February, I just reapplied.
That's fine.
So we went on the initial approval from last fall. Okay.
Expense report?
Expense report, I believe everybody has a copy of that, and that's it. Our revenues are at 75%, expenditures are right at 67%. We're right on budget.
Council, do you have anything else you'd like to add? Did you find out anything about the hazard waste place?
No, I have not yet. Hazmat disposal. Chris and I haven't been over there.
Okay, if you're interested in running in the November election, the last day to sign up will be June the 10th on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. June the 10th on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. That is, if you're interested in signing up to run for council in the November election. Remember, our next council meeting will be April the 15th, not the 8th, the 15th. Now, are we going to have a workshop?
March 20th, we rescheduled. From the last workshop, you guys scheduled another budget workshop on March 20th. Yes, sir.
That will be at the town hall. Next workshop, March the 20th, on a Thursday.
That'll be the third budget workshop. What you were talking about, the hazmat place, is that they're washing their trucks and there, and we're just, people are concerned if it's going into the storm drains and out to the river. We don't know that, we'll have to investigate. Not the inside of the trucks, the outside of their trucks.
And they have those suits on.
They have the rain suits on.
I'll inquire tomorrow.
Thank you.
Aaron and I will do it instead of Chris.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
I